Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. As always, I am your host, Seth. Today, I have Kristi Mitchell, who is a marketing strategist, marketing extraordinaire. She hails from northwestern New York. She's pretty much close. She's closer to Canada than she is to New York City. She's pretty much in Rochester. Let's go. People know where Rochester is. It's not that, whatever. But she doesn't say out or about. She sounds like an American. So nothing wrong with out and about, but it's that's you can always tell Canadian when they say out and about. So anyhow, I digress. She specializes in working with service-based business owners who have relied on referrals and word of mouth to get where they are today. They know in order to take their businesses to the next level, they actually need to think strategically about their marketing efforts. And that's funny because literally a lot of people are all word of mouth and they're like, wait, what's marketing? And it's like, oh my God, you gotta do some marketing even for word of mouth. You gotta at least put yourself out there. Hey, Kristi.
Hi, Seth.
How's it going? How's the weather up in the great Northwest New York?
It's beautiful today. The sun is shining. We're not getting the wildfire smoke from
Yeah,
Canada.
thanks,
So
Canada.
Nice.
Thanks,
yeah,
Canada.
I know. I just going on the whole Canadian. I do love Canada.
I know, but you're also close. I mean, you can go there for like a date night.
Yes. Yeah. Not too far.
That's kind of wild. I think it's wild. Going to a different state for me, like going to Jersey is as far as it is from you to Canada.
Yeah,
It's
we're
just
very
bizarre
lucky.
to me. It's bizarre to me. It's
Well, in the Niagara Falls is like one of the 7 wonders of the world, right? And that's
it
like
is.
right up the thruway, not far.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Niagara on the Lake is a gorgeous place. So it's not a travel podcast,
Yes.
but
Okay.
it's still.
We won't talk about wine and sightseeing.
We love Canada. I love Canada, and most of them are very nice. So that's kind of their stereotype is that they say sorry all the time as a punctuation. We don't. We say F you. We're just Americans.
See, I would say I'm more Canadian in that way. I think we're friendlier here in Rochester than
it rubs off because you're so close. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Kristi, how did you get started? I know when we talked way back when we first talked about getting you on the show, you worked in academia in like the marketing department and stuff. Too,
I
right?
did. Yeah.
I remember stuff.
You do. That's a great memory because you talked to a lot of people. So I did. I worked in higher education for 8 years. I did a lot of program management with a little bit of marketing at the beginning. And then I really transformed my position to be extremely marketing focused in the time that I was there because that's what I was drawn to.
And then that's also where you got your MBA, right? You got it while you were working there.
I did, yeah, because I figured higher ed doesn't pay that great, so you might as well take advantage of the benefits. And so I got my MBA while I was there.
Why not? And and they want you to. They want you because then you're going to talk up the university.
Yes, I'm a very loyal alum. What's that?
Where'd you go?
Rochester Institute of Technology.
Ooh, we got smarty pants on our hands. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great school.
Yeah, RIT is great. And you get it's actually as snowy as MIT too. So you still get the snow, you get the technology. It's great. So
yeah.
Then you escape. So you didn't escape the corporate person, the corporate man. You escaped the academic man in person.
Well, I left.
Did you transition to?
I did do the corporate thing for a little bit. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
What did you do there?
I worked in financial services in marketing, but I supported a sales team that was selling financial services into actually higher education. That's why they were interested in me. That's why I got recruited to work there.
You were so kind of in higher ed adjacent. We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Yes, yeah. But in financial services, that was like, corporate thing, being part of a bigger marketing team, which I had never had in higher ed because I worked in a really small department. So it was an interesting experience, and it was not for me.
No, and then you went on your own. And how long have you been on your own for?
4.5 years.
Oh, you almost at the 5-year mark. How's it going?
I know. I'm so excited. I want to do something big.
Throw a party. Throw a LinkedIn party.
Well, it's funny because my husband is turning 40 the same month of my anniversary, my business
Ooh,
anniversary.
big
So
party,
we're
big
planning a trip
party.
anyway. So I guess I'll just tell him like I want a day to celebrate me.
Just say in 5 years, they talk about in entrepreneurship and small businesshood, I guess I'm making a word up there, but, they say that, like, if you last the first year and then the first 3 years, the next milestone is 5. After 5,
Mhm.
you're probably stuck. You're probably gonna go the distance. Like, and I
Yes.
say stuck because you're at
Stuck in
5
a good
years
way.
stuck in the good way, but no one's gonna wanna hire you after that either. It's kind of the thing because you're so set in your ways on how you do it that I'm 15 years into my journey, and I look at this and I'm like, I'm kind of unmoldable now. Been through the kiln, to use the pottery analogy, I've been kind of, like,
Yeah,
set. And it's a
I can
good
see
thing
that.
because you can think outside the box on your own terms, which is kinda nice.
Yes, because you being set in your ways still brings immense value to companies who want to hire you because they don't know your perspective.
Exactly, and I think now more than ever, companies are realizing that they can't if they want quality, they have to put up with people that are stuck in their ways. Or they get like my whole thing is I do digital marketing strategy. I don't do the implementation because I'm too expensive to do the implementation. You're only posting your Instagram photos. I always say hire a kid right out of college who has to enter the circle where you have to get the job to get the experience, but you need the experience to get the job.
Yes.
So that's a great way.
Interns are wonderful.
Interns, junior marketing strategists, any one of those titles works well.
Yes.
So what is your sweet spot in marketing? Like, you say service-based business owners.
Yeah. So,
What service-based business owners do you like the most? Because that's a big term.
mm,
Or is that hard?
service based.
Or is that picking your favorite child?
No, I can do it. I only have
Okay.
one child, so
Oh, you have a
it's.
favorite child. So there you go.
I do. Well, if you count the dog too, then I guess there's two.
Yeah, but they're
Um,
different. They're different enough.
yes, they are different. So, my favorite type of business owners to work with are coaches, consultants, solopreneurs
Ooh.
who are good at writing and they want to write their own content. They are rolling up their sleeves, they're doing all of their own marketing.
Mm.
And like they've usually DIY'd their website, they're like
Ugh.
dabbling in social media, they've written some emails.
See, all that was
But
just good. When I hear DIY your website, I'm like, oh no,
yes,
oh no.
some of them aren't bad. They're not
No, some of them
horrible.
are.
There's
No,
always
I
room
have to
for
admit, some of them are
improvement.
surprisingly halfway decent.
Yes, yes. So I enjoy working with those people because at the end of the day, like you started this conversation introducing me, like they're really relying on referrals and network to build their
Mhm.
business. They've been doing kind of a little bit of marketing here and there on their own, and they know that they need help, but they're not
Absolutely.
necessarily at that point of wanting to outsource it all or maybe being financially at the point of being able to outsource it all. So
Mhm.
that's why we're a really good fit to work together because I don't execute like you. I stay on the strategy and the planning side, but I really enjoy teaching. So I
Yeah.
really kind of guide them and teach them and show them the
And
ropes on
scream at them when they do
how
something
to.
stupid.
Yes, yeah, how to really bring strategy to your marketing so it's not these kind of like haphazard things all over the
It's
place.
so important, and I'm so bad. I do it for everyone else, but I'm so bad. My mind's so haphazard. I'm like, "Oh, let me talk about Instagram threads today. Let me talk about this today." I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that? It's not. Yeah, it is kind of the shoe cobbler's dilemma, where
Yes.
it's like your own brand isn't as strong as
Yep.
your client's brand because you're so busy working on your client's brand. That kind of thing.
Yes. I've been doing a much better job at that, I will
No, you
say. And
really.
I
I have to
I
admit, of all the people, you've done a really good job. I really like what
thank
you're
you.
coming up with.
I love when I get a compliment from somebody like about my like consistency with like my brand colors or like my content on LinkedIn or whatever it is. And I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, I'm not at that cobbler's shoes kids stage of business. I'm like
yeah. Yeah, almost
taking
at
it to
5
that
years.
next level.
My thing is I'm very stuck on my brand colors. It's the Entrepreneurs Enigma orange, and it's
Yes.
the blue that's next to people who are watching the video, the clip or whatever we're talking about here. The blue. I have a very specific. People always ask what my favorite color blue is. It's 003366. That is my favorite color blue of all time.
Oh my God, I need to look that up because I almost wonder if that was the color of the brand color at the financial services company that I worked with because that sounds really
It's very
familiar.
specific. It's I found it and I like the number. It's 003366. It's a hexadecimal.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah, so that's
No.
more of like a navy.
It's a navy, but there's some gray. It's very subtly gray.
I was gonna say almost subtly purple, but
Oh, I haven't heard that one before.
oh, you know what? The monitor I'm looking at it on
Yeah,
is
the
color
monitors.
weird.
That's the thing. I don't think it's a web safe color either. Oops.
Yeah,
So
oops.
Oops. But then I was like, I needed a pop color, and I went really bright with the orange. So it's
Yeah,
fun.
that's
It's fun.
actually almost RIT orange.
I know. What is
I like
RIT?
it.
Are you the bank? Are you the Tigers?
Yes, RIT Tigers.
Yeah, because if you're gonna be orange, it kind of makes sense to be that. Yeah.
Yeah. I have RIT stuff. Oh, I have a flag, a pennant on my wall that says
Yeah, I
Tiger
have my
Pride.
University of Delaware pennant up there somewhere. Proud blue
It's
hen.
funny too you mentioned the brand colors because normally I'm wearing a shirt that like falls in my brand colors and I normally like match the painting, but today I didn't. I went
You look very nice.
darker.
So there you go. So what is the best thing about being an entrepreneur? Because you've done the academic, you've done the corporate slash adjacent academic. Now you're doing
Yeah.
your own thing. You're almost at 5 years. What do
hmm
you love about being an entrepreneur?
I love being able to constantly pursue work that feels super fulfilling and
I love
exciting
it.
to me. And not just having to deliver things that other people need from me. Like,
Yeah.
I get to constantly evolve my offerings in ways that feel good to me, that
Mhm.
feel like I'm fully supporting my audience, and also in ways that I'm excited to show up, not feeling like, oh, I got to do this again.
Mhm. Absolutely. And that's what you start to see at 5 years. Is that like at the first year you're like, I'll take anything just to get
Yes.
started. 3
Yep.
years, you're like, I'll take everything. And at 4 or 5 years, you're like, I can be a little picky now because I feel like you grow up and you kind of figure out what you want to be when you're a grown marketer on your own, kind of thing. You
Yes.
or a grown up entrepreneur on your own. You figure
Yep.
out what you want to be and who you are. Whereas when you first start out, you're like, I'm just starting out. I need to get my feet wet.
Lots of gray area. Yeah.
And lots of gray in my case. That too. So what keeps you up at night? What's the scariest thing about being an entrepreneur?
What keeps me up at night is I'll be totally transparent. It's my to-do list. I'm at that point, which I think is probably normal for that 4 to 5 year range. Like I have a VA now. I'm like starting to outsource some things. There are other things I need to get
That's
off
tough
my
too.
plate.
Yeah.
That's my current struggle is like really trying to define what is it that I have to do and what is it that I need to find help for to
I
offload.
love that. I'm 15 years into it, and I still need to find a VA. I'm very particular.
Yes.
I edit these podcasts.
Really?
Yeah, I'm too particular or not particular enough, but
Yeah.
if there's a gaffe in it, I much rather stream it myself than stream it someone else because
Well, that's
yeah,
nice of you to save somebody that trouble.
yeah, I need to, sit down and do the systems a little bit more. I need to kind of
Yeah.
document it's all up here, and that's not always up in their brain and that kind of thing, so what
Yeah.
is the most important thing to carry with you all the time
In marketing or running your business
in
or
general?
I think patience,
Ooh, that's a
which
good
is
one.
kind of ironic for people who know me for me to be saying that.
How so?
I just think about I'm I'm a doer. Okay, we
Yeah.
talked, right? Like I'm not a New York City like hustle bustle kind of person, but I lived in the South for a little bit after growing up in Rochester and I really
The
realized
South of
how
New
much
York or the South?
South I lived in Charleston, outside of
Oh,
Charleston, South Carolina.
you went south.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like down there, I might as well have been a New York City person
Oh,
because
God, yeah.
they're like, whoa, your pace is like really fast. You talk fast, you get things
Mhm.
done. That is my nature. I'm just like a get things done kind of person.
Yeah.
And I think I've realized a lot that I need more patience in my business when it comes to figuring out those evolutions of like, well, maybe I want to offer a new service and maybe I want to stop offering this, but like taking the time to really think through it and not being like, okay, I'm just going to make a decision and like, let's go forward and let's do it. Having patience in that way. And also,
Mhm.
especially on the marketing side, and this is one of those like practice what you preach kind of things,
Yeah.
is I always tell my clients, like, these are the things that you need to do to build your brand and to attract new people and to nurture your
Mhm.
audience over time. You can't expect that to turn into business tomorrow. You
Oh,
have
God,
to
yeah.
think of the analogy of planting seeds and nurturing them
Mhm.
and eventually they will, give you the fruits that you're looking for. So patience in that way I think is really important as a business owner too.
Oh, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest parts of that is that everyone's like, "Oh, look, Kristi, she's rocking it right now." You've been at it for 4 years. And
Yeah.
prior to that, I mean, you have a lot more experience before that in it. So, I mean, it's not an
Yeah.
overnight success. And I say this on every episode. And people are probably sick of me saying this. Overnight successes are years in the making.
Mhm.
and you're still working on your overall. I'm killing it! Yay! I mean,
Right.
5 years is like that's a big milestone, and it sneaks. And it literally,
Yeah.
when I think back to goals, to me, my first 5 years were rough. Then my son was born. I got then I got a corporate job for a year and a half. Realized I can't stand corporate. I went back
Yeah.
on my own, and the rest is history. So it's been 15 years with a quick foray into corporate America just to test the waters.
Mhm.
Oh god, that was brutal.
Yeah.
So bad. Some people are made for corporate. I wasn't. Whose
Same.
backside you have to kiss at what time of day? It's like, oh, don't talk to Joe because they're cranky in the morning. I don't care if Joe's
Yeah.
cranky in the morning. If I need to talk to Joe, I'm gonna talk to Joe. People are
This is why
crazy.
we get along, Seth.
I know, because it's kind of like oh, it's sadistic.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
So
I couldn't
Christy,
play the corporate games. It wasn't for
no,
me.
it wasn't that.
Actually, can I tell you a quick funny
Yeah,
story?
please.
So I got together with my old boss from high when I worked in higher ed shortly after I left the corporate thing.
Yeah,
And he still remain we still stay in touch. He's a mentor of mine. I
I love
absolutely
it.
adore him. And I said he ruined me for all other bosses. So we went out to go get breakfast after I told him I left my corporate thing and I was starting
Yeah.
my own thing and let's go get breakfast. And one of the first things he said to me was, "So what happened? Were you a little too outspoken?" I was like, "Actually, yes. That is exactly."
You didn't fall into the cookie cutter, yes, ma'am, yes, sir,
Yep.
yes,
Yes.
person
I
thing,
did
yeah.
not fit the mold.
No, I was always like, "We have to get this done now,
Mhm.
and I don't care that you have a to-do list ahead of me, we're getting this done now."
Yes.
Not a good thing. I worked for a subsidiary of Merck, so a subsidiary of a pharma company.
Mm.
They don't move fast.
I was gonna say there's gotta be lots of process there.
Of course,
Process, red tape.
To their credit, COVID, they moved pretty fast in the vaccines, but that's shockingly fast for pharma.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, that was, like, really fast, and but this subsidiary, we did not move fast, and I was like, "Oh my god, we need to move fast." So, where can people find you online, Christy? Where is your watering hole of choice?
LinkedIn. I love
Yay!
LinkedIn. I'm there all the time.
Yeah, it's so much fun. As much
It
as
is.
people are like, "Oh, it's corporate, it's stuffy," it really
It's
isn't
not.
anymore.
You're not doing it the right way if that's what it
You're
was.
not, you're not. And then I noticed you filled out the form, I noticed that you have a quiz on your website for people to
I
tell us a little
do.
bit about that.
Yeah, I just made that this year. Everyone was doing the quiz thing, and I'm like, let me jump on the bandwagon. I want to do a quiz. It was a lot of work.
Oh my god, they're so the conditions, like, if they say this, then do this, yeah.
Yes, yes. The quiz it was a lot of work. So what it is it uses my marketing funnel framework and it
Ooh.
takes you through it's quick, it's easy, it's not like one of those in-depth things that takes forever, but it takes you through the four stages of my marketing funnel as it pertains to your business and asks you a question about each and then
Ooh.
gives you kind of a quick assessment of like how you're doing.
Ooh, how
And if you're
fancy.
into Schitt's Creek, it has Schitt's Creek memes. So
Oh, god, I love that. Oh, that I love Schitt's Creek. Oh god. That was so much fun. Canadian television is so funny. It's so kind of understated, which I think is hilarious.
yes.
They're so
Yes.
subtly like, "Oh my god, did they just do that? Oh my god."
Yes.
They
So
really
good.
that was a big inference. Oh, that was, like, right on your face. That was a big inference right there. So, everyone go
Yes,
over
that's my quiz.
if that's your quiz, so go check it out. That will be in the show notes. You can find you on Kristi Mitchell on LinkedIn. That's Kristi with an I, the
Yes,
hip way of doing it. And KristiMitchell.com, Kristi with an I. And she even has a free resource library. Ooh, how
I
fancy.
do. Yeah, I just created that this year too.
Oh,
It's on
you've
MemberVault.
been busy.
I have. Oh my gosh, yes, I've been very busy. So it's on MemberVault. There's a whole bunch of resources in there. I just had
Ooh.
someone tell me they're like, "I just wanted to tell you I really appreciated that your free resource library was actually free." I'm like, "Is that a
I would be
thing? Do people
surprised.
really
People are
say
like,
it's free?" Oh my god, I don't get that.
no,
It's
people
actually
beating the
free.
people, but do you ask for an email address?
Yes.
See, that's free, but a lot of people
Yes.
are like, then there's always an upsell somewhere, and that's what
Yeah, I
people
haven't
always
built my funnel yet for that.
haha, it's coming, dum, dum, dum.
It'll be there maybe by
It'll
next
be
year.
there, it'll be there, but it's still free resources are great, and that's what you
Yeah,
should do.
there's like technology tools that I use because I get asked about that a lot. There's
Mhm.
LinkedIn tips, tutorial videos, that kind of thing.
That's awesome. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Chrissy, I'm so glad we got you on.
I am too. This was fun.
Yes, and we'll see everyone next time. That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please review us in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps other podcast listeners find our show. If you're looking for other podcasts in the marketing space, look no further than the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcasts.net. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.